Hello and welcome back to my book club. Today I'm not actually going to be talking about a book that I've recently read. I'm going to be talking about a couple of books that I've read in the past and continue to be a couple of my favorite books ever. And if you haven't figured it out by now, the title of this video is In Defense of Children's Books. And both of the series that I'm going to be talking about today are considered to be children's books. I'm going to be talking about the Percy Jackson series and the Harry Potter series. So Percy Jackson is written by Rick Riordan and Harry Potter is written by J.K. Rowling. So both of these series, these novel series, are considered to be children's books. Obviously, they're on a little bit of a different level than, say, Brown Bear, or a Dr. Seuss book. But they are still considered to be children's books. Actually, when I purchased The Lightning Thief, I went to a store to find it, and it was in the children's section. I actually had to find someone to help me grab the book because I was like, I don't know, I can't find it anywhere, I want to read it. They're like, oh yeah, that's over in the kids section. So along with all of these, Doc McStuffins books and all these picture books is Percy Jackson. So this is considered to be a children's book, especially at the beginning, both of them, because both of these books are series. Harry Potter has 7 books, and depending on what you consider to be the end of the series for Percy Jackson has a ton of books too. But the whole point of this video is to kind of advocate for reading what you want to read and not necessarily what you're supposed to read based on what, the marketers are telling you this book is about. So when I go into, say, Barnes & Noble, I don't only hang out in the adult fiction area. I'll go into the Y18 section. Obviously, I've purchased a book from the kids section, and it's one of my favorites. So things that are marketed towards you does not necessarily mean that you can't look outside of your age range to find the book that you're looking for. Especially because books like Harry Potter and Percy Jackson are books that you can grow with a lot, and I think they're really important. They're important for kids, and which is, why they're considered to be kids' books. But I think that they are important for kids because if you start reading Harry Potter or Percy Jackson at the age that the author tells you they are at the beginning. So at the beginning, this is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone or Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief. In the books, Harry is 11, and I think Percy is 12, if I'm remembering correctly. Yes, he's 12. So when you start reading these books at the age of 11 or 12, which is kind of probably an appropriate age to start reading these novels, you get to grow with the character, which I think is really cool. So when I started reading Harry Potter, I was in 3rd grade, I think, and Harry's 11 and I was 9, 10, and so it was a very, relatable character because we were the same age. And then as the books get released, or as they did get released, because that was a long time ago, as they got released, Harry was getting older and so was I. And for kids, it's important for them to have these characters because as they grow and as they get older, so do their favorite characters. And their favorite characters get into different situations that resonate with them. So that's why it's important for kids, but I also feel like it's important for older people to read these books too because, first of all, they're just good books. They're fun to read, they're easy to read, they're good stories, they're good authors, they're fantastic stories that I think everybody should at least try and read. If it's not your favorite book, you don't have to read it again, but I don't want anybody to try and, knock down a children's book just because it's considered to be a children's book. because I actually didn't start reading Percy Jackson until I was in college, and it quickly became one of my very favorite series. No one had ever introduced me to The Lightning Thief, and so I saw all of these things online about people talking about Percy Jackson, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go pick this up and read it, and I ended up loving it. So as older people, reading these books is important because they're good books. We don't necessarily have to, resonate with the characters as much because they're younger than we are, but it's still important to read them because it's a good story. And if we're not reading to be entertained and to have a good story, then why are we reading at all? So that's about it. That's all I really wanted to talk about. So if you have not given Harry Potter or Percy Jackson a chance, I would suggest that you at least try it. It's also really fun to get into the Harry Potter and Percy Jackson fandoms. There's a lot of crazy people that are out there, and I'm exactly one of them. I'm a total nerd. For reference for next time, I just got done reading Artemis, so if you haven't looked at that video, that's one video behind this one. But the next book that I'm going to be reading is called Children of Blood and Bone. Just look at the cover. It looks amazing. It's by Tommy Adeyemi. I'm probably butchering his name completely. But this is the book that I'm going to be reading next. It's a pretty thick one, so don't expect the next video to be coming out too quickly. But I kind of have a gut feeling about this book that it's going to be a big one. It's going to be one that a lot of people like. So go out and find a children's book and read it and let me know what you think.